All right, guys, our next guest needs very little introduction. One of the baddest welterweights in the world with wins over legends like Robbie Lawler, Tyron Woodley, and many, many more. He joins us to give us an update on what's next. It's always a pleasure to welcome Colby Chaos Covington back to Submission Radio. Colby, welcome to the show, man. You're looking good, dude. Look at this. The chain's looking sharp. Thanks for joining us on the program.
I appreciate it, boys. Nothing like wearing a nice silk shirt. Shout out to my boy Luigi Girardi. He's the best tailor in the business. He's down in Brickell, Miami, and the Design District, Miami. So you got to hit him up if you want to be suited and booted and have some of the best style out there in the world. And if you want to get some ladies and get that bedroom cardio, you need to go to my man.
Shout out to Luigi. We all need his silk shirts in our lives.
We need some silk shirts, Luigi. If next time we're in Miami, we're coming to you, man. We're coming to you.
I got you guys.
It's been a little while, man. Like we were saying just before, we've just had a little bit of a break. Dennis has come back from New Zealand. We thought, you know what? Who better to catch up with than yourself? Get a bit of an update. Got to ask, man, how's recovery going? Last time we spoke, obviously it was the foot. What's the latest regarding a foot at the moment?
Yeah, it's been a little bit slower process than I initially intended or thought that it was going to be. It was broken 3 different places in the medial cuneiform bone, which is the midfoot fracture. So it's been a slow process. Now the big thing is getting the strength back in my left leg because, I was in a walking boot for 12 to 14 weeks. So now there's a lot of atrophy on that side. So I need to build back the strength in my calf, in my ankle. And, the bone is still healing. Like you can tell it's at the end of the healing process. But now it's about strengthening, getting the balance back, getting the strength in my leg so I can really plant and not be compromised in my next fight. My next fight, I have to be 100%. That's so important to me for my legacy and my career that I go out there and show the world what I'm capable of when I'm 100%. But for them to see me at less than 100% like they did the last fight, it's unacceptable. And the fans deserve better than that. And I want to give them better than that. I want to give the UFC better than that. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I think this fall we're going to come back and we're going to put on the biggest and best show and remind everybody why we are Donald Trump's favorite fighter.
Yeah, dude, I can understand. Like, I've had a lot of injuries over the last few years, shoulder, back, hip. I'm like an old man here. So I understand rehab. So you mentioned fall. I was going to ask, what is the timeline before you think you'll be 100% again? Just even to plant off that foot. Obviously, with you, the takedown, super, super crucial. How long did they say? And what kind of stuff are you doing to sort of, get yourself back to where you were?
Yeah, so I'm just listening to the doctors. They think in the next, 4 to 6 weeks that, I should be 100% healed and have that strength back in that leg so I can plan off it and have no limitations. So, the types of things that we're doing is we're strengthening the calf, the ankle, a lot of calf raises. Of course, still doing things for the bone because the bone was broken 3 different places. So, we wanted to do some stem cell in the bone, some shockwave therapy and compression therapy and all types of different therapies for the foot and the ankle and the calf. So, I'm just listening to the doctors. I trust their plan. And, I'm not going to come back at anything less than 100%.
And that's the way, man, because I know a lot of people would get tempted. Hey, I'm just going to come back. I don't care. But you're playing it smart. And that's what the fans want to see you at 100%. I know last time when you were on the show, you broke down your criterias as well for that Ian Garry fight. You had some stipulations that he had to meet. Otherwise, there wasn't going to happen. Break it down for us. What exactly ended up happening? Did he meet any of your criteria? What exactly ended up happening with that?
Yeah, so, I gave him some simple stipulations, guys. You guys know better than anybody, having followed my career, what I've had to go through to get to this point in my career. I literally went to Brazil, and I had people that wanted to take my head off with a fork and take my head off with some assault rifles outside the arena because those Brazilian fans were so pissed at what I did to them and the things that I had to do to get to this point. So I've literally risked my life for this company. I've literally went over to Brazil, fought one of the greatest Brazilian fighters of all time in Damian Maia. He's got some of the most finishes in UFC history, completely obliterate him, leave him in a pool of blood, and then, do what I do in the post-fight, like for this business to sell, to sell pay-per-views and to sell tickets to the fight. So, I've had to do so much. all I gave is 3 little stipulations, boy, to Ian. Can you imagine? This kid's a spoiled little fucking entitled brat, and he's trying to act like he calls a shot as an absolute nobody who's never headlined a pay-per-view main event like myself. I've actually headline pay-per-view main events without even a title on the line. So I've done it 4 titles without a title, this and that. I've only been fighting pay-per-view main events the last 6-7 years of my career. So this little spoiled entitled brat is coming out saying that he's calling the shots. First off, there was never a contract. If there was a contract, show me the contract, kid. Where's the contract? If you're saying these words, you come out and show it to the fan. If there never was a contract. So the thing is when the UFC calls Colby Covington Incorporated, Colby, is able to choose and do what he wants because I've earned my way in this company and I've done good business for this company where I'm allowed to call the shots. So this little kid doesn't call the shots. So I gave him 3 little stipulations. That's all he had to do. Guys, could you imagine? All I told him was turn on the comments. Like, how hard is it to flick a little button up or down? Like, that's not that hard. It's so easy. And then to have his wife, shoot a video, why they deserve this fight. And how hard can that be? She's out here, going on 5-minute rants to other fighters that they're never going to fight and trying to quote Shakespeare like she's smart or something. So, everybody knows that, out of that little gimmick relationship that's going on, that little gimmick sideshow, circus show that's going on, she's the real star of the family. So she wants to be a star. Come out here and say and why you deserve to fight a superstar on myself. So he couldn't do these simple little stipulations, guys. Guys, like I said earlier, I risked my life. I had to get escorted by like high-level fucking Secret Service out of Brazil just to get back to America. Like they put a $50,000 bounty on my head. So, if someone would have told me in the early beginning of my career, Colby, all you have to do to get these big fights and, to get to the next level is just turn on the comments. Like, how hard can that be, guys?
I understand like there's a massive disparity at the moment rankings wise, but I'm looking at it and I'm wondering like, do you think there's ever a situation where Ian sort of works his way up and he's, maybe like a title contender or champion or whatever the case may be, and he's worked his way up to a position where you're like, all right, now that's a fight that, I would like to do regardless of any stipulations? Or do you think this is a matter of like, the ship has sailed and we're just never going to see you and Ian fight?
The thing is, I gave him that great freaking deal early on, guys. Just 3 simple stipulations. So I gave him this great deal. The next time it comes back around, that deal's not going to be so sweet. He's going to have to learn the basic principle of life. You got to learn things the hard way. So, I don't know. I don't know if that shit will come back around, I've said what I needed to say about him. I've said the truth and nothing but the truth and only facts about him and his relationship and his little circus gimmick that he's got going on. So, like maybe he does. I don't know, but he hasn't done it yet. He's coming off a split decision against the busboy. The kid's serving bloomin' onions over at Outback Steakhouse. He's not even a full-time fighter. You're coming off a split decision over that guy, and you're trying to act like you call the shots. And I'll do as I'm told. No, kid, you'll do as you're told. You'll do as you're told, and you'll go sit there in the corner because you're Conor McGregor.
Hey, he kind of had a bit of a counter offer to you. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this. Did you see he said that if you fight him, he'll hold his knee up and offer it to you to get the takedown at the start of the fight? See that the stuff that he sort of said?
No, I didn't see that. No one. The thing is no one cares about the kid. He's irrelevant. He doesn't have any high profile wins, guys. Like he does nothing for my career. Why would I fight a guy like this? I go out there and beat this guy. Everybody's just gonna be like, oh, he's a freaking nobody. There's local jobbers on the independent circuit that are undefeated. So, oh, big deal. You took his O. He hasn't beat anybody. He's a nobody. So it's just the fight does nothing for my career. I can fight anybody. I'm gonna get a big paycheck either way, guys. So it doesn't matter if I fight this schmuck or some other schmuck, but either way, I preferably like to go forward. I want to be back in the title picture. I feel like I'm the best welterweight on earth right now. I don't think there's a man that can stop me. So whatever it takes to get back to that title, that's what I'm willing to do. And I want to do the biggest and best business for the company. No one pays attention to this kid. The only time he even whispers of any type of a little bit relevancy is when he attaches himself to my name. Other than that, those are birds farts that he's putting out there. No one cares about him. So I literally have more money on my neck than he's made in his whole entire career. The guy's an absolute bum. He's a nobody. This one chain right here is going to cost more than he's going to make in his next fight. So I mean, I have nothing to prove against this kid, and the fans know that he's a nobody, and he didn't show he was serious about business, guys. Let's be honest, guys. Last time he was supposed to be on a stage with me in December, he didn't show up because the sniffles. He pulls out on Thursday because of the sniffles. He wasn't even fighting me, but he knew he was going to get on a stage with Colby Covington, and I was going to have a live mic in hand. So that's what really scared him. Let's be honest, guys. Who shows up to fights 100% anymore? Nobody does. It never happens. I was sick as a dog going into my last fight. Colorado had me so sick. You can hear in all my interviews, like my voice congestion. So doesn't matter. I signed a contract with the UFC. When I sign a contract, I'm serious about business. I'm showing up no matter what. Like when I put my pen to the paper with UFC, I don't care what's going on. I can have a broken bone, can be sick, doesn't matter. I'm showing up because I'm doing good business for the company. He pulled out because of the sniffles, guys. So let's be honest. If I'm going to fight a guy like this and I'm going to go through a whole training camp and I'm going to spend all this money to bring in training partners, my coaches are going to give me all the time. What if he does the same thing again and pulls out? Then my coaches don't get paid. Then I can't make money. Now I've just wasted a whole training camp. Like, he's not serious about business. All he had to do was turn on the comments, show he was serious about business and do these stipulations, but he's not. So, the ship sailed and I'll fight whoever I want to fight when I want to fight. I don't need to fight on anybody's card. I had my main event pay-per-views. I don't need anybody. I'm already a superstar. I have the biggest, most famous person alive and the most famous people around, in my corner. So I don't need to be on anybody's time. I'm on my time, and I'm going to come back healthy 100%. And, we'll see where the business is at in the next month or two and who's the biggest and best fight I can get for the company.
I know that he sent you messages publicly, but has he tried to DM you or send you any messages privately?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to anything that kid does. I mean, he has absolutely zero relevance in my life. He's an absolute nobody. So I don't pay attention. The only time I'm checking my DMs is when there's a dime model in there. So, unless it's a hot honey where, I can have some use and we can get some bedroom cardio on, and keep preparing this championship level cardio for next fight, then, I'm not paying attention to guys. I don't care what guys are doing, especially a guy that's an absolute nobody that's done absolutely nothing in this business.
Who do you think makes sense then? Like next fight wise? Is there anybody that you've sort of got your eyes on? You mentioned Belal Muhammad recently. Is that a possibility?
Yeah. I would like Belal. He's talked a lot of smack. I want that racist to catch a fade. He's remember the racist. He's out there, saying that I only got my title shot because of white privilege. Oh, Belal Muhammad, remember the racist. Now he's squatting on his ranking, guys. He should have to come out and fight. I think we should fight. I think that's the fight that should be next. He doesn't deserve a title fight, guys. How long has he sat out? He sat out for over a year. He's squatting on his ranking. That's not right, guys. He's squatting. He doesn't deserve it. What does he deserve? What has he done lately? When was his last fight?
What does a fight between you and Belal look like? What do you think? How do you see you guys matching up?
Yeah, I see myself KOing him. It's just an easy fight. He can't strike with me. And I'll show the world that he's just one-dimensional. He's not going to out-wrestle me. He won't take me down one time. If he tries to take me down, he'll get submitted so fast. His takedowns are so average at best. So, and his striking is it's so bad. I mean, you couldn't put away a one-arm Gilbert Burns. Like, come on, dude. The guy was on one shoulder, like he had one arm. Like, you couldn't put that guy away. Like, that's pretty sad and pathetic. So I think I KO the guy, and I think that it's a pretty easy fight. So, if the UFC wants to give me that easy fight, that's the fight I want. He's talked a lot of stuff. He said some serious things out there, made some serious allegations. They're racist, and cancel culture these days. He needs to get canceled. So, I'd love to catch up with Belal one of these days and hold him accountable for all those words he said.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like a huge rivalry there and a huge backstory. The rumors are, might be him and Leon in Manchester. Would you still want to fight him, after his potential title fight, or is it kind of like a race to, potentially derail that for you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd fight him anytime, anywhere, any place. I'd fight him right now in my backyard, but he's not a real fighter like that. He's a little bitch. He's a little racist. So whenever, I'm not going to wait. If he fights in July and that happens, I'm not going to wait till next year to fight him. I'm definitely fighting this fall, at end of summer, early fall. That's the plan. So whoever's available at that time, that's the biggest fight, then that's who we're going to go ahead with. But it doesn't matter who I fight, guys. Like I said, it could be someone above me. It could be someone below me. It could be someone, no one's ever heard of. It could be someone off the prelims. I'm going to get paid a good paycheck regardless. So, we'll see what lines up. And you know how things are in this business. Things change like day to day and week to week. So, anything could happen, like Conor might not show up in June, and then they might need my services and I might have to come out here and fight, not at 100%. So, I stay ready for this business. I love this company more than anything. Like, they've changed my life times 10. Like, I'm just, just a blue collar kid from a small town in Oregon. Like, no one makes it out of that city. Like, this city, everybody goes and works at the mill. Like, they work, at the local, dump, that's what people do in that city. So I'm just thankful to be a multimillionaire athlete and just, achieve the American dream and have a great opportunity in front of myself. Life's all about opportunity and preparation meets opportunity. And that's when success happens.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just out of curiosity, like, what have the UFC been saying? Have they thrown any names your way? Have they, told you when you're talking about like the fall return, have they given you any ideas of like what they'd be, how they'd visualize your return?
No, the biggest thing is getting healthy. So, we're going to get healthy right now. Hey, you can leave it right here, buddy. Leave it right there. Thanks, man.
Sorry, delivery. That's all good. What's Colby Covington got there?
I got some Uber Eats coming in. So I got some nice steaks and picanha, since I love it so much, I got to get some nice picanha. So, I'm the king of Brazil. So, I'm always doing things Brazilian, I love everything about it. So, but as far as, time frame, Dana and Hunter, they've been very gracious with me. They've, they let me get healthy. They don't want to rush me out there at anything less than 100% because, we want to give the business and the company and the fans the biggest and best show possible. So we can only do that when I'm 100%. So, we're just working through this injury. And they said, just like they told me a million times that, you've done such good business for this company, you get to call the shots. So I'll call the shots of who I want to fight, when I want to fight. And, we'll make the biggest and best fight happen. I want legacy fights. I think a guy like Charles Oliveira makes sense. He was out there saying the other day that he wants to come up to welterweight. So I'm the king of fucking Brazil, man. Everybody knows I run that fucking country. So all the women, love me. All the men in Brazil want to be like me. So Charles Oliveira, you want this fight? You want to really come up to welterweight? You want big fights? Let's see if you're about it, or if you just talk, or you want to come up here and walk the walk. Let's see.
Well, him and Ian Garry, they're a part of the same team as well, right? So I guess
that's a good point.
I guess that feud could carry over a little bit to this Charles Oliveira fight if it does happen.
Yeah, a bigger name, a guy that's a former champion, someone that's actually done something in this business, someone that's actually relevant, and the fight draws and makes sense, and there's a lot of angles in that fight. Is he going to defend his country, or is he going to go into retirement and just always know that Colby Covington is the owner of Brazil, and America's champion, Donald Trump's favorite fighter, does whatever the fuck he wants in Brazil, and there's nothing he can do about it. Get all the girls over there, all the men want to be like me, they all try and act like they're me, but there's only one Colby Covington, and he's standing right here. And if Charles wants to see, big fights at welterweight, then come up and see me. Otherwise, just all talk.
Dude, that'd be a crazy fight. How do you picture you matching up with Charles? Because obviously you've got the takedowns. He's got the phenomenal skills on the ground. His striking's come a long way. I'd be curious to see even the like how you guys just the size, you know what I mean? Because like you're not a massive welterweight, he's a fairly big lightweight. How do you sort of see you matching up against Charles?
Yeah, he's a huge lightweight. You heard from Uncle Chael last fight that he was going into that he was hearing a lot of reports. He was having a really hard time making weight. He's suffering, and he's just he's just taking chromosomes out of his body. It's just not healthy, so it's not sustainable. He's grown over the years. So he's a tall guy. I'm pretty sure he's taller than me. I think he's 6 foot. I'm 5'11". So, we're probably exactly the same weight. I walk around at like 82, 83, 85 max on my heaviest day soaking wet. So, we're very comparable in size, but skill, no. That's where we're not comparable. That's where I just beat him everywhere. I'm a better jiu-jitsu artist than him. I'm a better striker. I'm just a better all-around mixed martial artist. So, that's why I just don't think he actually comes up and follows through with his word. I think he's all talk, and he's not really going to do it. So, I match up well with him, and I'd love to entertain that fight. That's what I want. That's what I love, fighting former champions. That's all I've done the last like 7 or 8 years. So that's all I want to keep doing. And I want to leave my legacy in this company as the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, man, 100%. Speaking of Hall of Famers, I mean, let's be honest. For you listening right now, the real MVPs are the ones between your legs right now, whether you call them knee knockers, golden nuggets, thigh slappers, whatever you want. Our good friends at Manscaped refer to them as the boys. Not every man has children. Dennis has a kid. I don't. But every man is responsible for their 2 boys below the waist. When your little guys have more hair than they need, and they need a bit of a cheeky haircut, trust Manscaped for all your grooming dreams. Everybody knows how scary it can be when going in for a close shave below the waist. That's why we trust Manscaped for all our sensitive areas, introducing the Lawnmower Familia, including the Lawnmower 3.0 Plus, 4.0 Pro, and the 5.0 Ultra 3 ball trimmers. How good is that? Each trimmer is equipped with skin-safe technology, an LED spotlight, and unique features for different grooming needs. And best of all, you got the travel lock as well, so they're not going to go off randomly in your luggage, in your suitcase, causing all sorts of issues with TSA. Not to mention, Manscaped have you covered with a whole bunch of phenomenal products to have your boys smelling phenomenal downstairs. You are on the cutting edge of cutting pubes. Upgrade your ball trim and your life will follow. 20% off with the code submission. Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, man. Official trimmer of Derek Lewis, who's got 15 KOs now. And, those smooth boys down there really sort of helped him get those knockouts. That's that bowl speed that gets you moving right there, thanks to Manscaped. Make sure you use that code word submission, get that 20% off and free shipping. And also, I was in New Zealand, and man, I'll tell you, NordVPN really had me sorted. I didn't realize, and I forgot how much out of your element you are when you leave the country that you're in, and all the geo-blocking comes into play. None of your accounts work. I couldn't watch any of my favorite shows. I couldn't log into any of my favorite services. I had to do a bit of work as well. Forgot about the fact that if you work from an office, depending on what company you work for, you'll probably be blocked if you get out of the country. NordVPN really saved me when I was over there, and I really recommend everybody jump on today before you go on your next trip, or even if just in your everyday life you want that security that you deserve. Go to nordvpn.com/submission right now, because Nord has cooked up a huge discount plus 4 extra months on the 2-year plan that is available right now. You guys can try it today with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And not only is it one of the best VPNs in the game, not only is it super, super quick, no buffering or lagging, because other VPNs are so horrible and they stop you from actually loading up what you're watching. But this one account can be used up to 10 devices. That's one account for 10 devices. So you sign up, you get it on your tablet, your phone, your computer, maybe on your TV, or maybe on your kid's phone, maybe on your wife's phone, whatever you want to do. Nord has you sorted. Stop people from stealing all of your personal information when you plug into different Wi-Fis across the place, and make sure that you're safe thanks to NordVPN. I got to say, it's one of the best apps in the world. You go on there, it's so easy and safe. Enjoy all of your favorite shows from all around the world, all your subscriptions. Make sure no one steals your shit. NordVPN really has you sorted. You go to nordvpn.com/submission again. Please just try it today. It's risk-free with 30-day money-back guarantee. You'll be supporting yourself and you'll be supporting the program. Go to nordvpn.com and do it today. But Colby, just going back in the interview a little bit, you mentioned you'd be open to being the backup for Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Is that right?
No. I didn't mention I'd be the backup. I'm not a backup fighter anymore. But I mentioned if someone got hurt and they needed someone to save the day, they know who to call. I'm coming out here fighting at 60% because.
What kind of time frame are we talking here? What kind of time frame would be optimal?
Shit, they call me the day before weigh-ins, and I'm showing up. That's the type of fighter I am, man. I love this company. I love to fight, man. This is what I love to do. This is what I was put on this earth to do. This is my purpose. This is why God put me here, so I could go on this mission, this plan, and do some great things and be able to have a platform and give it to people that I care about. First responders, law enforcement, people that are protecting us. People that protect our freedoms and keep us safe every day. So. I'm thankful to have this platform. Now it's just, about having the biggest and best fights. And, if I can come out here and have some narrative where, I show up on a day's notice and save the day for the UFC and the fans, I think that's a special piece of history that goes into my legacy. So, I'm always willing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned you're not a backup fighter anymore. You wouldn't you wouldn't want to do Manchester, right? Like to be the backup for like Belal and Leon if that happens in Manchester.
You know, if the UFC really needed me, you know,
there he is.
of course. But actually, you know what? No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. It's not worth my time. Like those guys are both irrelevant. No one even talks about Leon. The guys, we haven't heard any words from him. He hasn't said anything. Like he hasn't came out here and accounted for a shitty performance, fighting a guy on one leg his last fight, and he barely wins a shitty, ugly decision. So, you know, like the guys, literally, there's more fucking charisma in my wet mop in the corner of my house than there is with Leon Edwards Scissorhands. So, you know, no, I wouldn't be the backup there. I was only saying that, honestly, because I love the fans of the UK. They're so passionate. They're such diehard UFC and MMA fans. Like, I just want to give them a show. Like, it's not even about the being the backup or the title fight. It's just about for the fans of the UK because they're such generous, such just amazing fans. So I just love all the fans of the UK. And, you know, I would like to go back to the UK and fight one day.
All right. Well, thanks for clearing some stuff up for us, man, because I know a lot of people who are sort of putting you on their dream UFC Manchester card on the UFC 303. And I know you'll step up if one of the people in the main event doesn't work out. But otherwise, it looks like you'll be coming back a little bit later. And there's some exciting options on the table. Maybe Charles Oliveira. This could be really exciting. And by the way, in the meantime, hopefully something happens about this 165-pound division because that could be a great division for you too. And hopefully that can come together as well. But for now, guys, make sure to follow Colby in his recovery back into the octagon at Colby Covington on Instagram. Man, we can't wait to see you back in there. The division isn't the same without you. We can't wait to see you back in there 100% and healthy, dude. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Shout out to Happy Dad, best hard seltzer in the world, the king of the hard seltzers. Shout out, everybody knows where to get their bets in. Go use promo code Colby to get your bets in at the best king of the sports book, mybookie.ag. So, you know, a lot of bets to be won coming up, boys. A lot of money to be made. So get out there at mybookie.ag, use promo code Colby, and let's make our bank accounts great again.
Send the check, MyBookie. Thanks so much, Colby. Appreciate it, man.